to that stage there where she said, "G'day, Martha that lives up the road, and she just died. And old Harold around the corner that gives me the shit when he died too. And Myrtle down the road, well, she died too." I said, "Mum, get off the roof and give me the gun." At that stage, you know, I just don't know what to do with it. Oh, God. Dad died too. That was very sad. Mum come past an armload of washing and get a woman's work is never done, and Dad said that's why you don't get paid as much. You just shot him on the spot. We buried him under the house, never to be seen again. Tragic days. I think losing my grandfathers was probably the hardest bit of all. Being a grandfather myself now, I hope I can be half the grandfather of my grandkids as my grandfathers were. One of my grandfathers, a very famous war veteran, highly decorated, given just about every medal his country could give him. Single-handedly bought down an enemy aircraft, and sadly he fought for Germany. He really helped us. When he came to Australia, became nationalised and fought for Australia, and yeah, wonderful thing. You know, after all those wars he fought in, though, you know how he ended up dying? He died in Melbourne at a peace rally. He was chasing a little blonde piece, and Grandma killed him. He always used to tell me about his brother John, which would have been my grandfather twice removed, and that he died in the war. He was a hoarder. We got any hoarders? There always hoarders around, aren't there? Well, apparently his brother was a hoarder too, and he died in the war too. He just couldn't get rid of that hand grenade. Very sad. But my other grandfather died too, and he was just a lovely old gentleman, just one of those blokes you just want to sit in the pub and have a chat with, just full of yarns and everything. And yeah, he died in his sleep, which we thought was a nice way for him to go. A bit of a bugger for the people in the taxi he was driving at the time. But it brought back all those wonderful memories that we have of staying with their grandparents. And to this day, I think back, we didn't all get the chance to stay with their grandparents, and it's quite sad that we didn't. But I get to spend a bit of time with mine, and to this day, you walk past a little op shop and you look in the window and you think, oh, yeah, Grandma had one of those in the kitchen, Grandpa had one of those in the shed. Do you ever get that sense of deja vu? It's wonderful, isn't it? It just gets your heart melding, and could be just the smell of newly mown grass, and you think, wow, that's just takes you back to Grandpa with a hand mower, and wow, little noises in the night was always what got me. You'd be lying in your little bed and you'd hear that, Grandpa, are you pissing on the neighbour's lawn again? Yes, and Grandma. Well, what are the neighbours going to think of you? Well, it's probably going to think it's you, Grandma, I'm squatting. Oh, that Christmas that someone dropped a Viagra into his cup of tea. Just a normal Viagra, not the Viagra my wife gives. My wife gives me Viagra light. No fat. It works, ladies. Oh dear, but yeah, he said, I've got to go to the toilet. So off you go, Grandpa, you're right to go. So he gets up and he comes back, he's saturated. I said, Grandpa, what happened? He said, I don't know. So I got to the toilet and took her out, but no, it's not mine. Put away and someone's pissed my pants. So I'm going to do a little poem about my grandpa. As poets, we like to put a lot of thought into the title of a poem. I've noticed that with some of the poems we got for the 1 minute competition. Great titles for some of the poems, and it's indicative of the way that the poem's going to go, the emotions within the direction of the poem. So it's very important to have a wonderful title. So I wrote this one about my grandpa, and I call it Grandpa. My grandpa came to live with me when he burnt the nursing home down, and the government wouldn't rebuild it. They needed the funds for a casino in town. Now, I was his only known relative, you know, the only one who wished to be known. The rest changed their names and moved interstate when they chucked him to the nursing home. So the ambulance pulled up to the front gate, driver let out like a frog, unloaded the wheelchair, then grandpa and shot through like a scolded dog. So I wheeled him into the heater and I said, I'll make you a nice cup of tea, because my home is your home there, Grandpa. If there's anything you want, just ask me. Because blood is thicker than water, and flesh and blood, that's what we are. I will love you and tend you the rest of your days. For you are my own dear Grandpa. Grandpa looked up from his wheelchair and slowly replied with a cough. Good, then get me lunch and change me undies and then go bugger off. I thought he'd probably senile, so I took it with a pinch of salt. Said, we all grow old one day, Grandpa, I know it's not your fault. Didn't you hear what I said, roared Grandpa? You stupid or deaf and dumb. They get me lunch and change me undies and stuff crawling up me bum. And that's when I knew that Grandpa wasn't that senile or that sick. The reason they put him in a nursing home for, because he was a grumpy old bloke. The next 3 weeks were absolute hell as I answered these beckoning calls. There's this 90-year-old senile hitlicker driving me up the wall. I hardly got any sleep at night, and I'm near and had enough. And they say, get me a cocoa and change me undies, and there was something else, oh yeah, go get stuffed. My life was in total ruins. House a complete disaster. He made that wheelchair friendly by kicking new doors through the plaster. He tried having a shave with my mobile phone. He cooked toast in my video, played videos in the microwave, put pancakes on my stereo. He threw my computer through the window. Then he called me the jerk. He said, you had your typewriter hooked up to your TV set, you dickhead, neither of them worked. And there's something else I want, said Grandpa. I said, I know what you want, I bet. You want me to change your undies? He said, no, I haven't finished yet. I said, Grandpa, we're going to Darwin. He looked at me real surprised. He said, you taking me on a holiday? I said, no, to get euthanised. And I stuck him up to Darwin, and I paid old Dr. Death to pump him full of poison till he drew his final breath. We hooked him up and quickly pushed yes. Dr. Death just burst into tears. He said, oh bugger, I've hooked it backwards. He's going to live another 10 years. So we took him home and poisoned his food and thought, well, that'll be that. And I said, hey, get me pudding and change me undies and then go bury a cat. I tried running him over, electrocution. I read Murray Harton's poetry. But he decided the fact was bloody nearly killed me. So I went out and I hired this hitman, big burly blokey from Bundy. Said, did you kill him? He said, well, I didn't get time between getting his lunch and changing his undies. The harder I tried to kill him, the more the old bugger would thrive. But if I can't bury my grandpa dead, maybe I can bury him alive. So I buried Grandpa, wheelchair and all these bums sticking up like a spike. You'd say I'd had fond memories when I parked my motorbike. But that's when the ambulance came back to the gate. 2 nurses walked up to the door. They said, we're here to take Grandpa back. I went, why? They said, well, what for? They said, we give you the wrong one.